Hey everyone, welcome back to an episode of Create with Linda. Today is Tuesday guys, and I'm just coming on because I'm going to get dinner started. Now, what I'm making guys is, I told you that it's budget time, budget. I'm eating out of my pantry, out of my arsenal that I have, what I have in my freezer and my refrigerator or whatever. So what I'm making tonight is I had these 2 pieces of chicken cutlets. Can't really do much with them. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make broccoli and macaroni. I have broccoli in my freezer. Broccoli and macaroni. I had this in my pantry, in my arsenal. I'm going to use these, bow ties. So I'm making broccoli and macaroni with chicken. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut up the chicken, saute the chicken, and then I'm gonna saute the. I turned it. I'm gonna saute the chicken. All right. And then what I'll do is I'll put the broccoli in there, saute that with garlic and stuff, and then I'll put water in the pot and let that steep for a little while, and then put the pasta. I'll cook the pasta and put the pasta in with it, and then make like a broccoli macaroni garlicky. With chicken. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get the chicken cut up and the garlic.
That's not my chicken.
What? No, it's not your chicken. Yeah, I had 2 pieces of chicken left over from this package that I had that I used yesterday or the day before. I don't remember when else. So, you know, it'll go further cutting it up and putting it in other, something else than just using it as chicken breast. I mean, I could get 4 chicken breasts out of that if I wanted to, but I'm just gonna do it like this.
Let me use the other knife. I just sharpened it.
Where?
It's meant for poultry.
Which one?
The long one.
This one?
Yeah, it's meant for poultry.
I think this is for cooked food.
For poultry.
Oh yeah.
I need to get my stuff.
Alexa, stop. Frankie. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut the chicken up. I'm gonna cut it into little pieces. I'm gonna utilize everything that I have. And yeah, so I told you that money is tight this week, and we're really utilizing everything we have in the refrigerator and the cabinet. Just, eating out of what we have right now, because we're waiting on our money. So you gotta do what you gotta do, and there's plenty to eat in this house. Plenty. Maybe it's not necessarily exactly what you want, but there's food, good food. So yeah. Alright, so we're gonna cut this chicken in pieces, little pieces, and it's just the 3 of us, Frankie, Bill, and I. And regardless, Billy, he's only doing training now, so he's home. He leaves in the house in the early morning, and he's home usually by like 12:30. But he's going to be having dinner from now on at home when he starts full time, which will be probably next week. Anyway, so whatever I'm going to be making for dinners now, he might be home a little bit later than for dinner, but he'll definitely be eating dinner. So, so that's going to be a thing again, because when he was working the nights, he really didn't eat the dinners. He took something to eat, and then he might have something when he got home, but it usually wasn't what I made for dinner. So I never had to make sure he had dinner on those days that he was working. But since now he's going to be home again, which I'm glad for dinner, You know, I'll have to start making dinners for the three of us. So that's what is going on. So yeah, so like I said, I'm utilizing stuff that's in my cabinet that have been in there, that I kept in there for that reason, in my pantry, for the reason to be that when you have a bad week or you have something come up that happens in your life, that's why it's very important to have pantry items, shelf-stable items that you could create and make a meal with a couple of things together. And so that's what I'm doing, and that's when it helps, when you need it, it's there. Like, look at this, 2 pieces of chicken, and look at all this chicken I'm getting here. This is plenty for 3 people, plenty, and it's going to be added into something else. You know, I mean, you just got to think out of the box. You got to look in your cabinet. You got to say, ooh, what can I make with this? And you know, I watch a lot of YouTubers that do a lot of like depression cooking and, you know, meals from the depression. In fact, I wanted to do this apple thing from one of the YouTubers that I watched. I want to make it. It's a depression apple dessert that I want to do. It looks really good. She said it would. I mean, she had it. She tasted it. It was really good. Her family loved it and stuff. So, yeah. So I'm gonna try that. I wanted to do that yesterday. But I always get distracted and something happens, and so I don't know, maybe tomorrow or maybe later. I'll see. That's a big maybe though. Big maybe. All right, so I'm gonna put the pot on. Frankie just made meal prepped for his situation. Oh wait, yeah, for his work week this week. So I'm going to put this on medium low, and I'm going to cut up, I got to cut up some garlic. This chicken right here, I'm going to put aside for when I have to put it into the thing. I'm going to get the other cutting board out. And we're going to cut up some garlic. Now this is broccoli and macaroni, and that's really very garlicky. There's a lot of garlic in broccoli and macaroni. So that's a lot of garlic. And I'm not going to use this knife because I need a bigger knife. I do have minced garlic, but I'd rather put fresh garlic cloves in there than minced. Because we like big chunks of garlic. Today's Talk About It Tuesday. You know, guys, let me just talk about it Tuesday while I'm here. You know, let's talk about how life is so rough, that there's so many heartaches, so much going on, so many people sick, you know, and so much good and joy in the world, and yet so much heartache at the same time, you know, and it just really, Cooper, and it really just makes you appreciate getting up every day and being healthy and knowing that you're, you know, you have a long life to live, hopefully, and all of that. I mean, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, you know, but there are people that have days that are numbered, you know, and that it's just really rough. And, you know, hey, what does he have? Get out of my pocketbook. Is he for real? Call him, Bill. He went in my purse and took out something. My purse was chewing on it. Call him in there. I really think my husband's going deaf. I really do. Come on. Oh, look, he went in the bedroom. Listen, he went in my pocketbook, took out my bag of credit cards and stuff, and was carrying not? And now he won't listen. Now he won't go in the living room because he's bad. Yeah, so let's just talk about it Tuesday while I'm on here. Please, 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 if you can, go support the Pog family. P-O-G. Sarah Pog passed away last week. She was 36 years old, had cancer, melanoma, and after fighting for a long time, get out of here! He's in here knocking stuff down. He's being bad. And it's just really heartbreaking because she finally succumbed to the disease. They couldn't do any more treatment. There was no hope. There was no hope. They said no treatment, a month. Treatment, maybe December. Well, the treatment that they planned on giving her to keep it at bay for a little while didn't agree with her, so she couldn't take it. So she literally passed away in 1 month. Cooper, get. And the sad thing about it is that her husband and her daughter, she's got a 3-year-old daughter, I think a 9-year-old son, 8 or 9-year-old son, Braden and Rayla, beautiful little kids. And the husband, guys, he's so amazing, and he's so heartbroken that when you actually watch him, you can feel the depth of his heartache. Like you feel like you're living his life, like you're living it. It's just pathetic. It's pathetic, and I say pathetic in the way, whereas I don't mean like, you know, it's pathetic, like it's a bad pathetic. It is bad. It's pathetic in the way that it's so sad. That it's so sad that he comes on there and he gives of himself, and he lets everything out on the table, and he tells you how he feels, and he just misses her so much, and the heartbreak and the heartache is just too much to bear. It's just too much to bear. And I find myself every single time he comes on, I go on there and I send him I make a comment. All right, I put olive oil in here, and now I'm putting the chicken in. I make a comment, and you know, there is no words that you can say that will soothe him. There are no words to soothe anybody who's lost somebody, regardless if it's a child, if it's a mother, a father, a wife, a husband, whatever. There's nothing that's going to take the pain away. All it is time, you know. So every time I go, I may leave him a comment, because I can't help but leave him a comment, because my heart just breaks for him. And I go on and I say, there are no words, but then I have a whole paragraph of words that I say to him, because I'm just trying to make him feel better. And like he said, you know, he said on the last video that he wrote, that he did, that, you know, I miss her so much. Like I would do anything to get her, for her to walk in the door again. Anything for me to see her again. Anything for me to talk to her again. Anything. But he said, and the thing is like, people say, well, she's in your heart, and, you know, she is in my heart. She'll always be in my heart, he said, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not what I want. I want her here. You know, so there's so much that goes into grief, and like anger and frustration and, you know, mourning, and just terrible. And you could literally just feel his pain from the video. And it makes me want to just run there and hug him, and, you know, and he's there, it was really her channel that she started out, but then it became like their channel. And she was a very kind, loving person, and she would say at every end of her at every end of her video, she would say, "Be kind and make good choices." So that's their kind of logo. You know, he has it on his hats, he has it on his shirts, and all of that. And she just exudes kindness. Sarah Pog, P-O-G. And so they're continuing the channel with some things, some gaming things, and they're also doing, they're going to be doing acts of kindness. They're going to do an organization where they help people who have been through what they have been through, help the families, help the people themselves that are dying or terminal or sick. And because this is what Sarah would have wanted. Sarah was kind and loving, and she would want him to do all these things. So, you know, he's going to be doing it. His brother, I think, is getting involved. His sister-in-law, was Sarah's sister. They're all going to be deviling themselves into it. Their 9-year-old son, you know, they're going to make it. They're going to do something really, really wonderful. And so if you want to be a part of that, if you want to be a part of what he's going to be doing, go to Pog Family. And they're gonna be, see, they had a GoFundMe for her, which was helping her with all kinds of, you know, whatever. But he's closing that down, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna open up a GoFundMe for just to help people. He's not gonna take any more GoFundMe. He said, Sarah's gone, you know, thank you so much for all of your help, and it saved us with going, you know, to other states and money as far as all that goes. He goes, but I don't need it anymore. She's gone. So, but I want to help other people. So we're going to close out this GoFundMe, and we're going to eventually open up another GoFundMe to help people who need help. And first it'll be local because we have to get started. He goes, it'll be local, and then hopefully we can expand and do it not local. He said, but first it's going to be local, obviously, because that's how we can, you know, that's how we're going to be able to start. But if you want to help somebody and encourage somebody and donate, listen, like he said, you know, times are really hard. You don't have to give no $100. You can give $2. Give $1. Give $2. Give $5. Something that will contribute to help them help these people who are looking at the end of their life, you know, looking towards the end of their life, and making it a better time, whether it be a month you have, 3 days, a year, making it happy for the families and easier for the families and all of that. So I just felt like I feel like it's a really good cause, and when he gets it up and running, I will be going. I will be going there, and I don't have a lot of money. You know that, guys. God, I don't right now at all. We're struggling somewhat. We are. He's in here trying to be bad. Look at what he's doing, guys. You see what he's doing?
He's still in the bedroom.
No, he's in here and he's playing with my pocketbook. What are you doing? Why are you trying to get into havoc? You bored? I guess he's bored. But if you can give of yourself, you know, and I don't have, like I said, we're struggling right now. I don't have a lot of money right now. And I feel such a need. They have a P.O. box. I feel such a need. And he broke down so hard because he was opening postcards that people were sending to them when Sarah was alive, and they were encouraging her and all kinds of all the places that they lived and that would be beautiful for her to see on the postcards. So he got some postcards in the mail, and he said, I just lost it. I totally just, I can't cope with it. Like, I just couldn't cope with it. And he totally broke down, and just I mean, guys. So anyway, I feel such a need to get these young kids, and I'm not talking spending a lot of money. I'm gonna get like a, you know, like maybe like a paint by number or a coloring book of crayons for the little girl, and maybe a Barbie doll, I don't know, and something for the little boy, you know, the boy. He wants to eat, but he ate already. Just because I feel like I want to give. I want to give. And if they lived closer to me, I swear I would be a stalker. I would drive there. It's just, guys, the heartbreak. You know, I've had a little bit of that heartbreak. I've had heartbreak from my mom passing, my dad, and just family members and friends and all that. And you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like. You might not feel it to the depth of what that person have lost, if they've lost their wife, their son, their daughter. You know, it might be every grieving person grieves in their own way and feels it in a different way. But it's horrible. It's horrible. And I just want to give. I want to give so much to them. So go check that family out, the Pod family, POG. And Sarah, may you rest in peace. Beautiful, beautiful Sarah. That's it. And that's all I can say. Okay, so I put the garlic in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the broccoli in. So after all this sautés, okay, so usually, like I said, I just make like broccoli macaroni. But since I had the chicken, I had 2 pieces of chicken, I might as well have added that to this meal. Because it's protein and it's dinner, you know what I mean? So it'll be heartier and it'll just be better. So. I'm wondering if I should put a little bit more broccoli, or is that good? Because we're big broccoli eaters, and it is broccoli macaroni, but once the broccoli gets a little soft, guys, I'm gonna cut it up a little bit more. I'm gonna see if I have more broccoli in the freezer. Let me see. All right. So I'm just gonna take the scissor. This scissor works like shit. It really does. And just break up the broccoli a little bit. Because it's way too big. These are the florets. And they're a little frozen. Obviously. So I wasn't able... Oh, my son went to use our microwave earlier and it started smoking. So now we have a protection plan on it, so he's going to bring it back to Best Buy tomorrow. And we need a new barbecue. We need a new microwave, so I couldn't use the microwave at all tonight. So yeah. So I couldn't steam the broccoli beforehand. I mean, I could have put it in a pot and whatever, but I didn't need to do that. It's going to cook right in here. So I'm going to saute this a little bit. I found broccoli in the refrigerator that I had made last week that I completely forgot about. So it's this right here. Still good. I tasted it. It's completely fine. So I'm just going to make this. Put that in there. Not waste it. Now, let's put some salt. Okay, I'm going to let this saute, and then I'm going to put water in it just to cover to the top of it. There's pepper. And then I let that slow simmer for like 10 minutes, just until the broccoli starts getting a little bit soft, you know, soft like how you want it. And then what I do is shut it off, and I leave that water in there. This is garlic. Leave that water in there because that's what's gonna moisten and season and make the pasta delicioso. That's what the sauce for the pasta is the, where's the goddamn garlic powder? Here it is. Oh, that was onion powder? What did I just use? Garlic powder? No, that was garlic powder. This is onion powder. That's what makes the pasta. It's delicious, guys. So yummy. This was one of my mom's most favorite go-to meals, broccoli and macaroni. And you know, when raising my kids, we made this a lot during their childhood. You know, we had it a lot. It's just a budget meal. Like I said, you have broccoli. If you keep some vegetables, frozen vegetables on hand in the freezer, you know, even if you had fresh or whatever. But if you have frozen vegetables in the freezer, you know, always keep like a bag or two of broccoli, chopped broccoli or broccoli florets in your freezer. You got pasta, you know, you stock your pantry with cheap pasta, rice. You can even make this with rice, just with rice. You don't even have to do pasta. You know, there are so many variations that you can do that will feed your family and go very far. You know, today, let's face it, we got to do budget. We got to budget, regardless if you have, you know, even if you're well off or whatever. You know, the floor can just come right down. You know, things happen. You know, and you really kind of have to prepare for that. All what's happening in the world with the COVID whole situation, what that did, and just everything. You know, and then the shortages. This world is just too crazy right now. It really is. So I'm gonna put like a little bit. I'm not gonna do the whole pound. I don't know. I'll do it in the jar. You know, I think that should be good, and I'll use the rest to add to something else. Yeah. But this is gonna be delicious. All right. I think this is good. This is sauteed enough, so I'm gonna add the water to it now. Oh, one thing I want to put in here that I always add to my, why are they calling me? I always add to my, a little bit of grated cheese. Give it a good mix. Oh, I didn't time this, did I? Oh, zip it. Let's see how long it is. I can't even read this. Alexa, set the timer for 9 minutes. Alexa, set the timer for 9 minutes.
9 minutes, starting now.
So I'm going to put water up to the top of, you know, to the top of the broccoli. Let it simmer on low. Because the thing is too, is like, I don't want my broccoli to like completely fall apart. I want to be able to taste the broccoli and the broccoli to hold its shape. A lot of times I've made this and, you know, you overcook the broccoli a little bit and then the broccoli disappears as you're mixing it. I don't want that. I want the broccoli to kind of keep its shape and, you know, be a little bit, be seen, you know, and taste it. So, yeah, so you just got to be cautious and just watch it. You can cover it and let it simmer. I'm just going to leave it like that and let it come to a simmer and just keep an eye on it. And that's it, guys. That is a really, really quick dinner. The pasta's ready. You can make any kind of pasta you want. You can make you can make spaghetti. You can make angel hair. You know, if you want ziti, make ziti, whatever. I'll probably just put the rest of this in there, but that's it. Make whatever kind of pasta you want. You know, anything you prefer, elbows, whatever. But yeah, I'm making the bow ties because that's what I had in my pantry. So now I'm using stuff up that's in my pantry, and then I have to replenish. So like, I probably won't be able to go to the food store. I might be able to pick up a couple of things next week, but I won't really do stock because I can't stock at this point. I gotta wait till the money's enough that where I can do a food shopping and also buy a little stock. But I'll slowly start picking up some items again to replenish my pantry because I need to do that. I need to have some stuff in my arsenal that I know that we can go to in case we have a low week or something, you know, going on. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing, guys. And trying to just deal with what's going on in our life right now. You know, a lot of unknowns. It's a little scary. Billy's job, you know, he's just starting the job and he's training, and he's not working full time yet till probably next week. When you work for the state, you gotta have fingerprints, and he just did all that stuff in the other job that he had almost a year. But he just did all that, his DOT physical, he had to do all that again. So it's just a pain in the butt. But you have to wait for the state, because you have to be okayed to work with the state and certain in prison.
To go into the prison.
Yeah, I told them that you.
Huh?
I told them that you're going to be driving prisoners.
Another week or something.
Not excited about that. And I know it'll be safe. I spoke to one of the ladies that works there, his friend, and she told me she wouldn't do it if it wasn't
Don't bring any
safe.
passengers home or okay?
Yeah, don't bring no passengers home. But it's just the whole point of him being in that environment. The environment of that whole situation that I feel like, you know, is dangerous. You're put in a position that you're around that stuff. I don't want him to be around prisoners or around, you know, that kind of environment. But at this point, we have no choice. We have to eat, and we have to take care of our families, and we have to do what we have to do. And as long as we know he's safe, and there's all safeguards to be taken, and I know that there is, I'm confident in that, then, you know, I'm pretty okay with it. But, you know, I'm a worrier to begin with, so I'll be worrying even when I'm not supposed to be worrying. That's just the way it goes. So there's a lot that's been going on and, you know, happening, and so. All right, so this is getting, the broccoli is still pretty firm, so. This is chicken and rice that Frankie made. He made a chicken and rice with onion soup mix on top of it for his prep, his food prep for his food for the week for work. And he made broccoli too. So that's his, but yeah. And fill these salt shakers. So, yeah, I spoke to my psychiatrist earlier, and he added a medicine onto my medicine because he increased my Prozac, and the Prozac, I felt very weird. On the increase, I didn't feel right. I felt more anxious and more restless and all that. So he took me back down to the level that I was on, a little bit less actually, and he's giving me a different medicine that goes with it's like a mood stabilizer that will help my mood, and it'll work with the Prozac. So we're going to try that. But there are some side effects that you could get from that, tremors or something. So if that happens, off of it, because I don't like no side effects, and I don't want no side effects, you know, but it doesn't happen all the time. So it's worth trying. I'll try it. If I see that I start shaking, then I go off of it. So, guys, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I just want to have my mind healthy. That's why I always say I need a lobotomy. You know what a lobotomy is? It's when you go in, and they do something to your brain and stuff, and they change your brain to fix it so it doesn't have the issues that it has. My brain is really, you know, it's shot. It's really not that great. I've always suffered from depression, guys, when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, my mother used to have to take me to the crisis center. I was always having some issues, and so yeah. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not embarrassed about it. Don't ever be embarrassed if you're depressed. If you have depression, if you have to go to the doctor, reach out to somebody, guys. There's no embarrassment in it. Get yourself some help, because there's no reason to live with a cloud over your head, okay? That's what my Talk About It Tuesday is today. No living with a cloud over your head, guys. If you need help, reach out to a friend, reach out to a crisis center, reach out to your doctor, somebody, a sister, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, cousin, whatever. Reach out and ask for help, because sometimes I know with having depression and anxiety, you can't reach out yourself. It's very hard. It's very hard. So you go up to somebody and you say, please help me. Don't be embarrassed. Don't, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about. It is a disease. It is a disease. So, guys, get yourself some help. Push yourself. Do anything you can to give yourself a better life and to feel better in your gut. Because I know what it's like to feel that sickness in your stomach and your being that makes you feel so sick and you just don't even know what to do with yourself. You don't know what to do with yourself, you know, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. But there is help out there. I'm telling you, there's help. I've come a long way. And I struggle still, guys. I'm on meds. You know I struggle. But life is still worth living, and I still love my life. And, you know, I always try to fight and get out of that black hole when I'm in. You know, always fighting my way up, you know. And some days are better than others. And, you know, there are some days that aren't that great. And, you know, I've talked about that a lot, guys. But, you know, just really, really, just wake up grateful every day. I'm grateful, you know, I watch, like I said, I watch these people who are losing their lives and who are losing their family, and, you know, it's just devastating, and it's hard to watch. It's hard to be a part of that because, you know, it's very, 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 Alexa, stop. It's very depressing, you know, it really is very depressing. But it's also very enlightening and joyful, and it teaches you things. It teaches you how to be humble. It teaches you how to be grateful, you know, and I think all good comes from it. I really do. I believe that. So yeah, so that's it, guys. That's my Talk About It Tuesday. Added on to this What's for Dinner. I hope that was okay, but I just figured why not, right? So just be grateful today. And you know what, guys? Be kind and make good choices in the name of Sarah Pog, okay? Be kind and make good choices. Do something nice for somebody today without ever wanting anything back. You will be so satisfied in your heart, you will not even believe it. And that's all I'm going to say. I also wish Sarah Mills prayers for her. She's going through cancer also and is not doing well. Now she has kidney failure, and her days are numbered as well. And I'm so sorry, Sarah. You know, God will embrace you, and she's so ready for God to embrace her, and it's amazing. She's a beautiful person. Jenny Apple, please pray for her that she has a longer time with her family. She's struggling as well. This guy Paul that I watch, he also has cancer and he's struggling. You know, guys, I watch a lot of these people, and, you know, sometimes I think, oh, maybe it's wrong of me. Like, I spoke to my therapist about it. I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to shut this off now because I don't want the broccoli to get overcooked, and the broccoli is going to sit in here, so I don't want it to overcook. So I'm just going to shut this off now and let this simmer a little bit. But I spoke to my therapist about it, and I said, should I not be doing this? Because should I not be following these people and getting into these people's families and, you know, being so attached to them and watching these things happen? And she said it's really not something that I should be doing because it's hard for me. Like, I get very emotionally attached, and I do put a lot of what they're going through on me, and it affects my being, my emotional state in my life. But I feel like if you can't love, if you love, or if you like, or if you care, and you're kind, you're gonna feel hurt too. If you didn't love, then you won't. You know, when you feel hurt, it's love. It's just love being turned around. You know, so I feel like, you know what? It's. I've invested in these people. I think I learned stuff from these people, from these tragedies that happen in their lives and other people's lives, and so I think it helps me. It helps me as a person. So I'm gonna do it as long as it's okay with me. You know what I mean? So, but everybody's different, guys. Everybody's different. You know, you do what you want to, what you can handle emotionally, and that's it. And Cooper just let himself in. See? Look, he's in jail. Duck, 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 duck. Move your booty. Go ahead, go in with Daddy. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. So guys, look at this monstrosity of a tomato. I brought this in yesterday. Yesterday, the day before, yeah, I think yesterday. And it's getting nice and red. I actually had another one on my windowsill. I used it last night. I cut it. It wasn't that great. It had some black stuff in it, so it wasn't that great. But and I'm still waiting for some other ones to turn red. I have this green one that I put on my windowsill. This has a little thing in it, so I don't know. And I also have this that I took in because these were all on the bottom of the plants, and I didn't feel like they would get sun anyway. So I brought these in, and I put these in here, and supposedly they'll turn red. So I did notice that today they are coloring a little bit. So I'm just leaving them on my table or whatever, and eventually they'll turn red. I'm just hoping that I go out there one day and all the tomatoes will be red, because it's like pulling teeth. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. All right, guys. So what I'm gonna do is just put the pasta right from the pot here, because again, I want some of the pasta water, which is thicker. It'll make the sauce that I have this in thicker. This is broccoli macaroni, but I did add a little half and half to it. Just my son prefers cream, and I just figured let me just put a little bit. And you know, it's definitely a creation, but that's what I do. I create, guys. And that's a tip if you ever want to make a little sauce a little bit thicker or whatever. Pasta water is a great thing to add to sauces because it's thick, because of all the starch, and it's like really good. Let it come to a little bit of your sauce, a little bit of a boil, a little bit of a simmer. And I love to have the pasta water separated. That's why I don't really like to strain. If I do, I save some pasta water outside of before I strain it, because it's always good to have it to add to sauces. Always. All right. So I don't have any fresh. I mean, I have a little bit of fresh parsley and basil out in the garden, but there's not that much there, and I don't want to take any more right now. I want to wait and let it replenish a little bit. So this is it, guys. This is what's for dinner tonight. There you go. So I'm gonna get my plate, and we're gonna eat. And you know, guys, remember pasta, rice, noodles. It's not about, worrying about cholesterol and all this stuff. Sometimes you just have to feed your family, and you have to buy what's affordable and what you can afford. If you can put food on the table, sometimes it's just okay. If you don't do it all the time, or if you do it all the time. We grew up poor, you grew up struggling, you grew up with eating, what you had to eat. And that's what it is. So don't ever be ashamed, guys. Don't ever be ashamed of opening a can of tuna fish or having a grilled cheese and tomato soup for dinner, or having eggs and bacon, or eggs and peppers, or don't ever be ashamed of who you are and what you have to do. That just be kind and make good choices, and that's it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna get my food and I'll be back. All right, guys, so here's my plate. Yes, it's like a broccoli, macaroni, chicken kind of dish. Looks so yummy. It is very yummy. And yeah, so I'm gonna taste it for you guys. Broccoli chicken goulash, hubby's calling it. I added a little bit of butter to mine. I like it like buttery.
Big off me.
Okay, so let's just taste a little bit. Mmm. It's really good. I put a little hot pepper in it, crushed red pepper. Did I drop that? No. Really good, guys. Thank you so much for coming into my kitchen and creating with me. Hit that subscribe button, because when you subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. If anybody...
I love coming into the kitchen and cooking.
Food meat. Don't forget to hit the notification button with that bell so you guys can be notified every time I upload a new video. It's very important that you hit that notification bell, because then YouTube recognizes my videos and it will recommend my videos more, which will grow my channel more. So that will really be very, very helpful. If anybody wants to give a little thank you, it's down at the bottom. Just hit that little super thanks if you want. No obligation, no, whatever. You do whatever you want to do if you can, whatever. We really appreciate it, guys, all the help that you guys have given us, and just the total support. We love all of you. And again, thank you so much for coming into my kitchen and creating with me. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.